Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Good Sunday afternoon. It's Chris with Beautiful Bites Food Tour. I want to thank y'all for joining me today. I am live from the Conde-Charlotte Museum in downtown Mobile. I'm on Theater Street, and really appreciate everybody that's been tuning in the last few weeks, where we've been doing our virtual history tours throughout downtown Mobile. The first one that we kicked off a few weeks ago was a tour of Royal Street, and we talked a lot about the history of Mobile there, and we've done some virtual history tours on the haunted history of Mobile. So we hope you go back and check out our YouTube channel. We talked about the stories from the Mobile River, and my favorite one a couple weeks from Dolphin Island, where we talked about the food history of Mobile. And so that was a lot of fun. And so, yeah, y'all, if y'all want to, y'all please go check out our YouTube page, Beautiful Bites Food Tour on YouTube, and where we've been uploading all these. If you've missed them the last few weeks, you can go back and catch up. So, but I'm really excited today to be, like I said, on Theater Street here, downtown Mobile, at the Conde-Charlotte Museum. Now I'm going to turn the camera around and show y'all where I'm at. This is the Conde-Charlotte Museum, and they have graciously invited me to come in, and we're going to give you guys a tour of the home today. Beautiful building. It is one of the oldest. It is the oldest home museum in Mobile. This is one of the oldest structures in the city of Mobile, built in 1822. It was originally the first jail of the city of Mobile. It was also the first courthouse. So the foundations of this old home is actually from Fort Conde, and I'm right behind Fort Conde. You kind of see right there in the background, our Fort Conde this here. Now, the original Fort Conde that was built 1711, 1723, this is the original foundation. Is still underneath here. And so when we go inside, I'm going to show y'all how they have the home laid out. It will be each room is themed from the 5 flags that have flown over the city of Mobile throughout its history. So we've got French theme, British, Spanish, American Federal, and Confederate. And so also, it's really awesome. You're going to check it out. You can see a part of the old jail cell that's still in the Confederate kitchen. So y'all be looking for that. So with that, we're going to go ahead and begin. Step inside the door here. And hey, we've got Holly. She is one of the docents here for the Conde-Charlotte Museum, and she is going to be giving us a tour of the home. So if you're ready to go, Holly, we'll get started.
I am ready. I heard
All
you
right.
talking about the 5 flags.
Mm-hmm.
Those are super important here. The house is actually owned and operated currently by this group of ladies called the National Society of the Colonial Dames of America, the Alabama chapter. And they operate this house to promote patriotism, education, and preservation. And so the way they've designed this museum is to represent each one of those 5 flags with a room. And so each room is furnished with authentic, antique, period furniture. And so we like to start here in the British room. 1763 represents that time period when the English flag flew over Mobile. All the furniture in here is Chippendale or Chippendale inspired. Of course, we have a portrait of King George III over the mantle there. What good Brit wouldn't, right? And then on the way back into another room, we have another portrait here you can take a look at. This is Queen Charlotte, and she's actually the namesake of the house because the Fort Conde was named after a French general, and when the British came in, they decided they didn't want a French named fort, so they changed it to Fort Charlotte after their queen. That's original French map, and it was actually hand-drawn in 1764. And it represents this regional area here. As you can see, it looks a lot different. And there's no Alabama written on there, by the way, at that point. The next room that we'll go into is the American Federal Dining Room. And this represents the time period in Mobile of about 1813. So this is what the home of a semi-wealthy family living in that period in a port city. This is what their home would be decorated like, probably. There's some really cool, interesting pieces in here. From all the little English tchotchkes there on the mantle, the cool mirror. It's a convex mirror, and it came out of a home here in Mobile from Spring Hill. It has a cool little story to it, too. It's called a chaperon mirror or a hostess mirror because it's a convex mirror. And if I'm sitting here as the host of a dinner party, I can see the entire tabletop from my seat, so I know if my guests need anything. From here, we'll go out into the Spanish courtyard. And this represents the Spanish flag that flew in Mobile. We have original bricks from Fort Conde here, 1711. They were dug up when the George Wallace Tunnel was being built, placed in the garden. And then we have just the Spanish architecture and influence that we see all around Mobile. We have a little taste of it here in the courtyard. And over on this wall, we have two doors that were original jail cell doors. This isn't where the jail cells were, but this is where Jonathan Kirkbride, the person who bought this jail and turned it into a home, this is where he placed them.
All right, we're gonna go upstairs.
Oh, wait.
Oh, no, we're not going upstairs, I'm sorry.
We gotta do the Confederate Parlors first. Isn't that what's the most important?
That's
part of
right.
this right here?
That's right.
So in the middle of a Confederate parlor, we have a hole in the floor. And that is just to show the foundation of the original Fort Conde, and then after that, the jail. When they were doing work, the Mobile Historic Preservation Society was doing work on the house. They discovered the foundation was 2 foot thick. And there you'll see a set of lead knuckles that were actually found under a loose brick. There's also a little bowl and a part of a shackle. So that's our jail. We don't put prisoners in there anymore, promise. These are our Confederate parlors. And so this represents the time period when Jonathan Kirkbride would have lived here with his family. This is just prior to the Civil War, so the antebellum time period. And this is how a wealthy family in the South would have decorated their home. It's Victorian style. Cool little piece in here, interesting information if people don't know what these are or are for. They're fenders. But the reason that they're there is because during this time period, the ladies wore the big puffy antebellum dresses. Well, this was to keep their dress from getting in the fire and setting them aflame. My favorite piece in this room is this piano. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. You're going to have to come take a tour to learn about it. But I love it, and it's beautiful. One thing you will notice is it looks like it's a little bit of a short keyboard. It's an octave shorter, but that's just because that's how the music was written in that time period. It's a play L. All right, you ready to head upstairs?
Yes.
I'll let you go first. All right, at the top of the stairs, we have a beautiful dress. We're very proud of that dress. It's actually a Revolutionary War period dress. A lady wore it when she got married in 1777. There's another story that goes with it, and again, you'll have to come in and take a tour to get that story. But then we'll go into the French rooms. I'm sorry. This is the French parlor, and these two rooms are the French rooms, and they represent the time period of 1711, when the French were here, from 1702 actually to 1763. This actually, though, is not decorated in that time period of furniture. This room is decorated in the time period of about 1800, 1815, the time of Napoleon, because when the ladies went to procure the furniture for the house, they discovered that 1700s French furniture was just really impossible to get. So they bumped it up. but it's beautiful and represents the French style very nicely. I'll show you another teaser. Take a look at that guitar. Good story goes with that, but again, I'm not telling you. And then this is the French bedroom with the sleigh bed, the commode, the vanity, the chest of drawers, and the wardrobe here. We have a complete set of French Empire style furniture. And I did call that a commode because underneath that door right there, it would have been the chamber pot. Fun story about the wardrobes. The reason that they would have used the wardrobes in that time period, maybe, is because certain governments would enact taxes on your homes and you would be charged per room for taxes, and they actually included closets in that tax. So a lot of people said, forget it, we don't need closets, we've got these. So there you go, there's a way to get around the taxes. All right, across the hall we have the final two bedrooms. And these bedrooms are set up to represent the time period of 1850 when Jonathan and Elizabeth Kirkbride and their family lived here in the home. Very Americana, very beautiful and bright. Some really fun and interesting stories in here too. We even get a little silly sometimes. We have some funny jokes that we tell. There's a rope bed there with a trundle underneath, a children's tub. And got some funny little jokes that go with that. But again, you got to come in to get the jokes.
All right.
All right, that's the final room.
And so we're back outside on the porch now. Really awesome view of downtown Mobile from here also. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. I really appreciate Holly and her hospitality. And please come down to the Conde-Charlotte Museum. They are going to reopen on June the 4th. And they'll be open on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday going forward until hopefully things get back to normal, maybe this summer or so. So I appreciate y'all watching and really enjoyed today's tour. And again, you know, if y'all missed any of our previous virtual history tours, they're all on YouTube. We uploaded all those to YouTube, so please check those out. And we'll also be updating everyone pretty soon on our tours. When we're going to be resuming our food tours, which hopefully, you know, once the restaurants are once they're reopened to 100%, you know, we're going to be really close around that time. So, but we will continue to update y'all on that, and I hope everybody has a good Sunday. Thank y'all.